Welcome to T Boys TV. We are back again with another Hatter Show, obviously episode 306. And in today's, we will be talking about another away defeat, unfortunately, and we'll be talking about another away game that, for me, could be a potential banana skin. I know Wigan are in a really bad position, but they've got a manager that knows the club well, so I'm not going to underestimate them going into this game. And especially if how we are, I don't think we can. If how we've been away, I really don't think we can, to be quite honest with you. Obviously, we was going to do this tomorrow, but it turns out I'm not actually going out today, so I thought I'd just do it now, get it out of the way, because obviously we've got to talk about a defeat again. And then obviously we'd just get into it tomorrow. And if anything comes out, if they even have a presser, because sometimes they don't during the week or nothing gets released. If there's any big news, any players back or big talking points, then I'll probably do a separate video. But for now, we'll just do this. And yeah, so that's that. But yeah, how have you been, Dad, since the Saturday game?
Yeah, not too bad, not too bad.
Good. Good to see everyone in the chat as well, waiting and everything like that. Harry says, evening lads, hope you're both well. Yep, we're good, thanks mate, hope you are well as well. Ryan says, sup, big up to yourself mate, massive week for Luton. I mean, it is. I mean, obviously we'll get into the game separately like we always do, but people look at these two games we've got coming up and they'll say 6 points, which going into the start of the season you would have said that, but I just don't think they're going to be easy games. Especially the next two. Yes, obviously the Burton game, obviously we are at home and we are better at home. I am a lot confident with us at home. But even then, I mean, you see what they done, obviously, in the Cup, took West Ham to the wire, and things like that. Should have scored, to be honest. So it's going to be difficult. You're good attackers and things like that. But obviously, we'll get into that game on Friday. Yeah, exactly, mate. Exactly. They've just got the manager who knows the club well. He knows the club well. Obviously, he was part of their team that won the FA Cup. He was also there previously as a manager, and they won League One. So, and he did beat us. He did beat us in the league already this season as well with Exeter away for us. And we were really poor that game. We started okay, but the rest of the game we were awful, not good enough. Like it has been a lot away, so it's not going to be easy, man. And Alfie says hello, big up to yourself, mate. Hope you're well. But yeah, in terms of the Cardiff game, obviously we have to start there. Unfortunately, I mean, going into it in terms of lineup, there weren't really any complaints with that formation. Obviously we were expecting to see it that well. Going into that game, there could be a change because there obviously was a change in the second half in terms of formation. So hopefully we can actually do that in terms of the game on Wednesday. But yeah, I mean, there was no complaints really. I mean, the only things a few people might have said is the fact Morris didn't start again. But other than that, I think, there's not really any complaints. And when Jones is played in that role, 9 times out of 10, he's been good for me. Obviously, this game, he wasn't quite great, and he admitted that himself, and I don't mind that. If players can come out and admit they didn't have a great performance, I can accept that. But it's when we sugarcoat it, and then you get our captain at the time in Naismith saying, "Oh, it's a young squad, rare to 10," and then you look at Cardiff's team overall. It's just no excuses for me. But ultimately, what ruined it in us for this game, I thought I've got to be honest, Wilshere's comments before the game. I feel that's already fueled the fire. And I like that he's got the confidence. I rate that. But at the same time, you got to hope the team backed it up. And I said that going into it. And ultimately, we didn't. It was poor yet again, really. But yeah, in terms of lineup, no complaints, really, for me. Good to see, obviously, Jones back in for me. And then as for the bench, obviously, we saw El Hamady, Morris, Naismith, Saville, Shea, Vandenberg, and Wells. So not too bad. Obviously, there was said in the presser on the Friday, there will be no players back. So like Hakeem, obviously Elijah and players like that, which is obviously a bit of a shame. Like I said, going into it, Elijah could have been good for this game. Obviously, we know he's getting closer. Could have been good for this game, in the last 20 minutes, to obviously try and cause O'Shea a bit of havoc, who, let's be honest, didn't have anything to do, really. Made it too comfortable for him. And going into it, we wanted to see him, exposed, really. But we just didn't do enough, really. And yes, they're a good side, but I feel we made it way too easy, man. When a manager's saying, we're level with them, they're just more, flipping thingy, majiggy. They're just more fucking what we can't be. You've got to be competing. You've got to show that. And ultimately, the players didn't. The players didn't for me, other than Clark and Keeley. They were the only players I felt sorry for, to be honest. If it weren't for Keeley, it could have been a lot more. And Clark, all right, didn't have the best of games, but he was still one of the better players, But the others, for me, not good enough. Not good enough, to be honest. And, even the subs in this game, I didn't like. But in terms of the lineup, like I say, Dad, there was no complaints really, was there?
No, not really. It was interesting to see Jones start, because he was effective in the Stockport game. So, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is, right, since he's obviously made them comments about right back, he hasn't even played there yet. Whether that's coming on or not, it just doesn't make sense. Like we know he's better higher up, And then again, I know he didn't have the best of games here. Obviously, he did win us the penalty, but like there was a few too many, poor touches, and he come out and said it himself, after the game. And it was an honest interview, and I like to see it. To be honest, I like when the players come out and they're honest. Obviously, we see Clark like that against Huddersfield. Obviously he was more deflated, but there is them elements, and we've just tried to do too much for me in that first half. I mean, you look at the game itself. Obviously, they get a goal in the 11th minute, Turnbull. I mean, what a poor goal to concede. I mean, 3 players around Colwill it was, who obviously returned for this game, I believe, and it was Johnson, Mengi, and Kadoa, I believe it was. Definitely Mengi and Johnson. And ultimately, there's been so many games Kadora's got doubled up on, and he struggled to get into the game. So when we've got 3 players on one guy, why can't we deal with it? Why can't we not deal with it? And then the ball's played across. I mean, I don't know who's meant to be marking him initially. I don't know if it's Longwick. I don't know if it's Anderson. Either way, it's poor. And that's the thing. This is what annoyed me in this game. Yes, they're a good team. They're obviously the best team in the league. The league table don't lie, but we made it too easy for them. Way too easy. And all them goals are avoidable, in my opinion. Even the third goal, which is a great strike, we've given them all the time in the world to turn, take the touch on and have the shot. It's not good enough. It's not good enough at all. And, it's just the same old repetitive cycle away from home, to be quite honest with you. But yeah, the first goal, I mean, that was poor. Poor initially. Poor goal to concede, wasn't it, Doug?
Yeah, it is. Listen, they're a good side, they're confident. Obviously, the comments riled them up because first half they were on it. Second half they just relaxed and
I didn't need to be on it, did they?
Clark was initially on him, trying to chase him down, got past him, and then three of them, like someone just put foot in. Yeah, we're in the penalty area. Put your foot in, like you know what I mean.
We've seen times in the penalty area we've put a foot in.
Pass in it's Longwick. That should have been more aware and running in. So, obviously, if he was a centre back, maybe he'd already been there. This is the argument. But they are a good team. They've got some good experience there as well. People going about their young squad, but they've got some good experience there. Osho was, cool. You can see he's got better, but ultimately he didn't have a lot to do.
No.
As well. But yeah, it was a good goal, and that's what you're going to concede. And that, they, especially in the first half, they look like more like a championship side. We got championship potential players, but we don't even look like a good League One side at the moment. And it will come. It will come. Accepted it now this season. Potentially, chances are we ain't going to win fuck all. And it's a big reset. We've got a manager in now. We play a certain way. We're looking better in certain elements. We're definitely better at home. Things definitely have improved, but it was too late. And we need to sign some proper Luton players and things like that. The attitude, the fight, etc. So it's hit and miss. But they've been together. They've got a good manager, decent stadium. They haven't set the league alike, aka Birmingham last season and even Wrexham as well. But they've just done what they needed to do, especially with the little signings that they have made. So yeah, we we've got a lot of work to do. But yeah, we should definitely have closed that down. Like, we've seen worse. Do you know what I mean? Like pop up, but this was more like get on in, get on in. Otherwise, they can do what they can do. You know,
Yeah.
and these are the sort of levels that you see when you see Wigan, for instance, playing Arsenal. You give them that little bit extra space. Obviously, they're not. Do you know what I mean? But we haven't been like that for ages, and it's so frustrating. And yeah, proof in the pudding. And they're confident as well. That's the thing. We've had no confidence all season really, and they're going to need a win to a way to change that. But yeah, poor goal to concede really.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And then obviously they get 2 yellow cards. I mean, obviously the penalty, very annoying. That took a while to actually be decided. I mean, obviously on the watch along, I noticed it straight away. I was like, that's a penalty. He hasn't won the ball whatsoever. And fair play to Cole. It's a good pass through to Jones, and it is definitely a penalty, like we say. And then Clark buries it. I mean, not myself personally, but I know there was a few people, a bit worried when he takes it just because of his one of his recent ones. But 9 times out of 10, spot on, good penalty. It's one of them penalties for me where it's in such a good position, it's hard for the keeper to save it. But like, even like, obviously, I love Jordan Clark. He's my favourite player. But even the way, like, obviously at the time we gassed, because we're like, yes, come on, this is equaliser. Come on, like, come on, let's show that we can compete. Because we responded all right after the goal. But then it's even like the celebrate. Like, I don't think of Jordan Clark like that. I don't like, and I think Wilshere just installed that into the players. And ultimately, like I say, they didn't have to have a team talk. They didn't. They probably just, they could have had his face in the changing rooms, and then the players would just be like, "Oh, okay, yeah, we got, we just got to deal with him." Like, even like again, like just I don't see Clark that type of player. Do you know what I mean? Like the way he was doing it. Obviously, there's the memes come out which we got to deal with, but yeah, I just feel that's what costs us in this game. And again, I like the confidence, but like I said, going into it, you've got to hope the players show it. And I think ultimately that formation, that needs to be binned off. And we tried to bin it off in the second half, but it was too little too late. We tried to go to what you should go to, a classic 4-4-2. I mean, I don't mind that formation at home. Like I've said loads of times, that formation, it works at home. All right, the strikers still not like proper involved, but they are a bit more involved than they are away. But it's not working now. And it's even like the second goal we concede in this game. I mean, it's exactly, well, not exactly, but in terms of a similar goal to what we conceded in the away game against Huddersfield. A pass out from the back, to our CDM at the time in Palmer. He's got 3 players on him, should never be passing it to him there anyway. I think it was Mengi.
No, it wasn't.
Who was it?
It was Keeley, mate.
Well, either way,
it was Keeley. It was poor, and then Keeley should have run back onto his line, but he didn't. He could potentially have saved that. Watch it on slow mo on YouTube. It was Keeley.
Well, the crazy thing, either way, that's the manager. That's the manager telling them to do that, and they shouldn't be doing that. It hasn't worked. We literally could have drawn to Huddersfield if they didn't. If we didn't do that against them, whether it's the keeper or not, obviously, it is the keeper. I don't want to blame Keeley. That was one of Keeley's better games, despite him doing that. That was one of his better games. If it weren't for him, it could have been about fucking 8-1 or something. To be quite honest here, I mean, saves he done in that game, especially at the start, and obviously he had that moment, didn't he, of his hand or his arm?
He thought himself.
Yeah, I felt sorry for him, to be honest.
Palmer, yeah, is a poor touch from him, but you can't be going. They were on him.
They shouldn't be passing to him there. That's my point. Yeah, they shouldn't be doing that. And that's the thing. And I'll tell you what that is, right? Because he's come in and he has done well in that role, bar this game. Because he's got on the ball and there's been a lot of confidence with him on the ball because he's done well to drop deep and, make options and that. They've obviously thought, oh, yeah, let's try it again. But it hasn't worked. I mean, even in the game before that, there was a few little times where he was struggling. He was struggling in that role by himself. And there is a few people saying now, that you should maybe give him and Saville a go in that sort of 2. I mean, what do you make of that?
Possibly.
And then you can get Palmer to do the more attacking stuff and Saville just dirty.
Yeah, possibly at home, I can see that. But away, I want to see a 4-4-2 because for me, it kind of worked in the second half a little bit. Yeah, they took their foot off the gas, but it caused them more things to think about. And I thought the movement of Al Hamadi was really good, and Cole as well when he was on. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, and the penalty, obviously it was definitely a wicked pass as well. That was such a good pass,
And fair play to Cole.
right into his feet, and really good. He's got to be starting the next game for me,
For sure.
and definitely a penalty. The argument about the yellow card and should have been a red is the fact that he did go to play the ball. It's only a red if he doesn't go to play the ball. He just takes the player out. He definitely went to play. I thought he'd got the ball at first, and then I thought they were. Then I saw a yellow come out and Jones going mental. So I was thinking they booked him for diving. You know what I mean? That's what
I thought that, but I knew he didn't dive.
He was moaning because they thought it should be a red. But I felt like he definitely went for the ball. It was clumsy. Good penalty. So
yeah, for me, like I say, I just like the way, like I just think that's been installed. The way he was like, come on, man. Clark's been at Luton how long? You ain't seen him do them type of things, have you? Even when he scored on a big stage.
No, yeah, I'd say that. I don't even think he'd done that in the Premier League, to be honest.
Yeah, even when we scored in the playoff final, which was a big moment, we went 1-0 up. Like he just got on with it. I think didn't he pick up the ball already? And just wanted to go.
Part of it is because of what Wilshere said and that.
Yeah,
and it. You do you're fucking talking on the pitch, and that's what I've done.
Exactly, and that's the problem
for that.
Yeah. And then obviously two last things in the first half. The NG goal, I've already touched on it. I mean, it's a great goal. I said that at the time, but he's got all the time in the world to take a touch.
Yeah, and also if you look at that, obviously I've watched it in slow motion. Do you know what I mean? He was on his own for ages.
Yeah,
like just sitting there for ages. Like no one. Like where's the manager going? Like come. Yeah, he's a good player. I know he's a good player. I don't like him. I think he's one of them cocky.
But he's one of them ones that can back up his arrogance. He can back it up.
He can play in the Champions. He's a good player. I mean, he was just sitting there. No one watch it. No one was watching him. No one was watching him for ages. And then when it eventually come to him, the only player that was running forward, I think, was Morris. He was actually good when he come on. Looked lively as well. Another player I want to see starting. But yeah, he was just sitting there. Like, I was even looking at him for time, ages.
It's like I say, we've literally let him turn, take the touch and shoot.
Casual as well, and then bang! It was a brilliant goal, but
too easy.
No
one close him down
at all.
No, so, no, exactly. My problem with that is, like I said, all the time he's got in the world, it's a fucking joke. Compete. Literally show why we should be competing with them. It's just not good enough. And from that moment in, I'm thinking, like, well, even at 2-1, to be quite honest, I was thinking it could be more. But obviously, the second half, the last thing I'll talk about is the long yellow card. I mean, it was definitely a yellow card. Again, I feel sorry for him. He's just, we're going to see that throughout the season, him playing there, because we ain't got a natural right back. But it's not good enough. Like, come the summer, if we don't look at that position, I mean, we've loaning our actual right back Walters out, which I've got no problem with. But, you had to get someone in, but it's obviously obvious we weren't. I mean, if it comes to the summer and we don't get someone there, I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know. Because this could actually affect Lomwick as well in terms of that house. Because if he's playing there and he has them sort of iffy games, I mean, it's not really on him, but at the same time, it's what's happened when he's gone there. So, it's one of them really. But going into the second half, let's say, put their foot off the gas. They literally done what we done when we played Leyton Orient at home. That's literally what they done in the second half. They were in a good position. They didn't need to do much. And we actually changed the formation, which was good to see. However, I think we should definitely go with that formation again from the start against Wigan. But I don't think we'll do it. And the reason I don't think we'll do it is because, unfortunately, we didn't obviously we had a chance, a few corners we won in that position, but ultimately we didn't. Like if we got a goal with it, then I could see us definitely going with it because it worked. It worked, and it would have been one of them things where, Wilshere and that they looked at it and went, oh, it was 1-0 in the second half, technically, based on that and that type of thing. But even like taking Kadoa off, initially I thought it was a knock. That was the only reason you could take him off. And again, yeah, all right, didn't have a great game. He's our top scorer. And yes, El Hamidi come on, so that's decent. Because then obviously, you can go with the two strikers and that, but Kadoa's not the player you should be taking off. And I know he ain't had the greatest few games in terms of like not scoring and stuff, but he's still. But we've seen throughout the season he can pop up with a goal. That was not the right sub for me. You could have took Jones off for me. I mean, like say he come out after and say he didn't have a great game. He admitted it. You could have took him off, like just not Kadoa for me, man. That was not right. And from that moment in, I'm thinking, oh mate, this is not great. And again, El Hamadi gets in spaces, he tries, always getting man held. Reminds me of Morris and Elijah. But until he gets that goal or anything, I just don't think Kadoa should have been the one off personally. And I just when he's got the goals he's got, not for me really. And yeah, it was frustrating because in that second half, when we had the chances, other than I can't remember who crossed it in and we won a corner, Cole was there. Very unlucky, good defending. Other than that, we didn't do enough for me. And the annoying thing is, every time they went forward in that second half, which was rare in comparison to us, they looked like they were going to score. There was so many times in that second half, we just didn't look like we were going to score. Obviously, Morris, like I say, come on, which was good to see. I mean, me personally, I think we should have brought him on earlier. And then obviously Wells come on for Cole. I mean, Wells was pretty disappointing. I mean, there was a so-called pass to Morris. Better off passing it to me through the flipping TV, to be quite honest. Yeah, it was awful. Absolutely awful. And yeah, I mean, Van den Berg come on. I've got to be honest. I think like we said at the time, Dad, I think he was trying a bit too hard. One of his first touches, if not his first touch, was a corner. And it's a very disappointing corner. I've got to be honest, even the Clark corners, they were poor in this game. I mean, not even getting to the front post. I mean, and it also goes down to that tactic, that corner tactic. It's literally so predictable what we're going to do. All the players at the back post, you're going to try and put it in towards that area, and the keepers gets them 9 times out of 10, or they don't even get to the front post. It's just shocking, absolutely shocking. So, yeah, poor way to bow out, really. And I'll be honest, I wanted that second half to end, to be honest, because I just knew we weren't going to do much ultimately. But it's a shame we couldn't score with a 4-4-2 because, like I say, even if we got a goal back, I think there's likely chance we'll play it. But I just think we're going to stick with the same old nonsense away, to be quite honest here. But yeah, very annoying second half, in my opinion. What you got to say, Dad?
Well, I feel it's better. I feel like the formation change did make a difference, and yes, they eased off, but really, they could have proved carried on and proving a point, and that they had that little bit of a respect for us, where it was a little bit more difficult for them. Might not admit it, but I think it was, and I think having the two up front definitely made them scurry a little bit more. Um, but ultimately, yeah, we didn't. By then players have come off, and certain players were on a yellow card, and this, that, and the other, and it just wasn't there. Do you know what I mean? But I have seen a lot worse away performances, um, and the squad. I mean, we're eighth. We wouldn't have wanted to be there, obviously, but them kind of positions are minimum. Even playing shit, even with the squad we've got, that's where we should be, definitely in the top 10. So yeah, we'll just see what happens. Let's get into the player ratings.
Yeah, well, I'm just going to get into this comment quickly. 3 corners, none beat the first man.
Yeah.
Shocking.
Set pieces definitely need to be looked at. I
Yeah.
mean, before we saw Saville taking them, Wolf taking them, maybe Clark, now Johnson, and then my man coming on, Van der Berg, took the corner. Maybe he's good at it, but obviously he's definitely not first choice. Poor. Um, he was trying too hard. Like you can see, he's got ability, and then he had that moment in the box, and he just
Yeah, like he was good in his initial debut when he come on the home game. He was good.
so that's but yeah, a bit of naivety saying what he said. Do you know what I mean? Um, I can see why he said it, but you can't back it up if you're not performing. Do you know what I mean? Like when Liverpool, like Tottenham, Man United had a good squad like a couple of seasons ago, and they were proper doing crap. You know what I mean? Like when you can't really be saying that. It's almost goading them. And we've said before, yeah, they're not Man City or whatever, but they're top of their league for a
Yeah,
reason.
and they're consistent. Like he said, they're the most consistent team. So you have to give
But
him that.
that backfired. Like it was like a psychological thing, but it just backfired. But you know, we still have got them decent players. I think I'd take a few out, give them a rest. Um, and I think we can beat Wigan. I think this will be the turnaround in away form, even if it's a narrow win. I think we can beat them.
I mean, like we did against Cardiff, we do have a good record against Wigan, especially in the recent games. And I mean, I got to be honest. Obviously, we'll get into our predictions in a bit, but for me, I mean, it's the toughest prediction I've had in a while with us. And I wouldn't have said that if they didn't have a new manager by this game. But it's also the fact, he knows the club a bit, and we've got a good record. So I'm very mixed on it. It could literally be anything, and how we are away. I mean, they're worse at home in terms of how we are away. So there is that positive as well. But I mean, obviously, we go into a home game on Saturday if we win this. So, it's one of them where the next away game is massive as well. I mean, this is massive for like trying to get that first win away and kick on. But like Doncaster away after that is the next away game. And I mean, that's massive. That's obviously the game in hand as well. They're another team that are down there. They're going to be fighting for the points as well. So, I mean, it's got to start sooner rather than later. But I just think the position we put ourselves in that Huddersfield game is ultimately why we're not going to go up. And this is why I keep saying that Virtue Trophy, we have to go for that. And loads of fans are saying it now. It's probably our best opportunity in years in terms of trying to, get a trophy, in terms of the run we've had in it. Also, the fact, obviously, we've got put back in it as well. And like I've said loads of times, we've had every game at home in the knockout phases of that. Obviously, not underestimating Plymouth. You can't, beat us twice, but we are at home, which is more favourable. And for me, that Huddersfield game was nail in the coffin for playoffs. And we can't keep going, oh yeah, but this game away might change it. Yeah, it might change the away form, but will it change where we finish the end of the season? I don't think so, to be quite honest here, in terms of the playoffs. So we have to go for that. And, at the start of the season, I'd have been pretty disappointed if I said, oh yeah, win the Virtue Trophy but not go up. I've got to be honest. But if we don't end up with any of that, I don't think we're going to play playoffs, like I say, but we don't end up with that either. Like, we're trying to at least get to the final. That's not good enough for me. It's not good enough. You need to be on it straight away. No piss arsing around. You need to get shot on it in the window. You need to get right back. You need to get another centre back for me. And possibly elsewhere. Depending on players that go and things like that. So yeah, man. Yeah, I got to agree, mate. I got to agree. And it's like I said, we were too reliant on him. I mean, you only have to look at the second goal. And he has played well. He definitely has played well there. But yeah, we just need to bin that formation off. But I just don't think we will, unfortunately. I'd absolutely love to be proven wrong come Wednesday night and we actually play a 4-4-2. But mate, I don't know, mate. I just don't know. But yeah, in terms of the player ratings for this game, Keeley in goal. Okay, yep, second goal, not great from him. But overall, I thought he was one of our better players. If it weren't for him, it could have been a lot more. Like I say, made some major saves, especially at that point where it's a bit tighter at the start of the game. Obviously, they were on us, but in terms of like the score and that. And yeah, he made a massive save in the second half as well, which could have made it 4-1 to them. Proper close up the player was as well. I think it might have been Robinson, possibly. So yeah, Keeley for me, he ain't getting a bad rating. He's getting a 7.
I'll give him 6.5. I thought he was generally good. Apart from that, he's involved in that past Palmer, and I felt maybe he should be a little bit further back for the NG goal as well. Maybe, you know what I mean. So I'll give him 6.5.
Now, what I will say on this, Jonathan, mate, I think there's a high possibility we get him, whether we go up or not, because a major part of why he's actually come to us is, well, two, lack of game time at Hull, and also the fact he's closer to home. So there is that factor that could come in with him. So yeah, but we need to change it up. I mean, like we said, Dad, I'd like a 4-4-2 away. I feel that is the way to go. And to be honest, you can have like, say for example, you play that, you can have Palmer and Clark. They're probably the two I'd go with in that middle right now. But like, even if you change it up a little bit and you go like, say we stick with a 1, I want to see it as away from home. I want to see it as like a 4-2-3-1 because I just feel we need someone next side him. Because let's be honest, right? Again, he's been brilliant there. You know, I sung his praises highly in the Bradford game. He was immense. You know, our best player. But that's not at the same. Like he's doing really well there, and he can play there better than Walsh, etc. But he's more attacking at the same time, so we can't expect him to do this week in, week out. You know, whether it's home or away. For me. So that's what I will say. But yeah, moving on to Longwick. Again, not his natural position. Did get a frustrating yellow card though. So yeah, I'm just going to give him I'll give him a 5.5, I guess.
6.
Fair enough. Anderson, not great for me. The same with Mengi. I mean, Mengi is probably worse, I've got to be honest, but I mean, winning the ball airily, good like he usually is, but in terms of, you know, it's just when we were when the ball's on the ground, you know, him and Mengi, whoever in this game, they look sceptical for me, other than probably Longwick in terms of that back line. So yeah, I'm just going to give him a 6.
6.5.
Fair enough. Mengi, like I say, his passing was awful. I thought at times he'd done like vital interceptions and blocks.
Yeah.
Like his passing was, oh mate, it was shocking. Like, and this is why I like in previous games when he just gets the ball out, you know, because he won't piss around essentially. He'll just get the ball out, and sometimes it don't look pretty on the eye when he's just smashing it. But I don't mind that. You know, that's what League One's about sometimes, and we think, you know, on his day he's way too good for this level. But yeah, this game he was poor. He was really, really poor for me. So I'm going to be honest. I'm going to give him a 5.5.
6.
Fair enough. Johnson, got to be honest, not nowhere near as good as what we have seen him. Obviously, the first goal, obviously a part to play in that. But this is my problem, right? There is players that can play there, like Naismith, but even though it's quick turnaround, I know obviously you have gone different, Dad, but I'd probably stick with Johnson because I ain't really got much faith in Naismith, to be honest. If we had Bramall, I wouldn't mind putting him there and then letting him go a bit forward at parts during the game and then have Mengi covering. But yeah, I mean, I'd still play Johnson despite that performance. So for me, he weren't great. I'm going to give him a 5.5.
Well, I've said it for a couple of weeks, mate. He needs a rest. You know what I mean? And this game, you know, kind of proved it a little bit. I'll give him a 5.5, and I wouldn't be starting him. I would give him a rest.
Yeah, fair enough. No, that's fair enough. Jelly Belly says we won't go up and make the playoffs. No, not for me. Simply not good enough. Yeah, exactly. Rebuild end of season, quality over quantity, and make a serious push next season. Yeah, exactly.
That's what you got to prepare for. You know, that's what you got to kind of think about now. Get your head around that.
And that's what I say about the
virtual trophy. Down. We're not going up. You know,
thankfully we're not going down because the league's shite.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, thankfully we're not going down because the league's awful. Let's be honest, it is awful, and that's what annoys me even more. Like, it's not great. Do you know what I mean? Like, obviously Cardiff, yeah, they're good, but I just expected a better fight. I really, really did, and it was too easy for them, you know. And that's the thing. Like, a lot of the goals we conceded, other than the Bradford game, because you know that was a decent goal, and I felt a bit sorry for Johnson. Other than that, like most of the goals we conceded this year, like when you think about it, they're just soft goals, especially away. The away games, I mean, it's awful, and it's great to see we've improved at home. But what is that going to mean at the end of the season if you still pull away? It's not going to mean anything. So this is why, also, I'm so happy we've had the Virtue Trophy draws the way they have at home. So we got to go for that, man. Otherwise, it's just disappointing. And this is the problem as well. Obviously, we have got a quick turnaround, and obviously you say about changes, Dad, and things like that. But my worry is like the lack of options we've had compared to other players. Obviously, yes, a lot of the players we wanted to get rid of, or the club did anyway. Obviously, Ali out on loan. Obviously, we wanted Brown to go. I wanted it permanently. Um, and obviously Yates and that. But yeah, it's just them worries like who's going to be able to step in. And that's why when we go into that Plymouth game in the trophy, we have to go with a stronger team than we have. So yeah. Very annoying. We was early for once. Yeah. I mean, 6 minutes earlier. But yeah, we done an earlier one today. I was actually meant to go out, like I said the other day, but I didn't in the end. So yeah, we thought we'd do one today to dissect this rubbish. But yeah, so yeah, there was that. Moving on to Palmer. Again, I felt we were over reliant on him in this game. I'm not really going to be critical of him himself. All right, yeah, there was a few things he could have done better, but ultimately, you look at the second goal, shouldn't be passing it to him there when he's got three men on him. And there was even parts earlier in the game where, like, he's on the ball. He done well to get out of positions, but then he's got, like, a couple players on him. And I think there's, like, a few times on the watch, I've got man on as if I'm there. Do you know what I mean? Because I'm just like, he's got that pressure on him, just certain passes we were giving to him. So I'm not going to be overcritical of him. I'll just give him a 6.
Yeah, same. They marked him out of the game. They targeted him. He won a few free kicks and stuff, but he was unable to be as effective as what he normally is. So I'll just give him a 6.
Yeah. Moving on to Jones. Again, obviously, done well to earn the penalty. But there was just a few moments like he was going forward, and for me, it took too many touches. And he did say that after, like I said. So it's one of them. I would put him to the bench for the next game, bring him on. So yeah, for me, I will give him a 6.
6.5. I thought he looked lively at times. As you said, done well to earn a penalty and was trying to affect the game, but I think he needs to be in a flowing team. I'll give him a 6.5.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, look at that Stockport away game. Flowing team. He comes on and scores. Northampton as well. They don't get me wrong, they were quite poor, but we put it on him. And he was obviously a massive part of that when he come on, and we were just on him in that second half in that game. So yeah, I agree. It's like when the team's on it sort of thing. Moving on to Richards, thought he struggled a little bit. Obviously, he has come back recently, so I'm not going to be too critical of him himself. Obviously, did come off, so I'll just give him a 6.
Yeah, so.
And then moving on to Clark, well, our best player for me, him and Keeley are the top two for me. Even though he didn't have a great game, like we say, his corners were pretty poor, but he's still one of our better players. Obviously, scored a penalty, good penalty. But like I say, even the celebration, I just don't see Clark do that. I just think Wilshire's sort of tried to gas him up maybe a bit too much, and I think ultimately that was the problem. I think we got too complacent as well as a squad, and we thought it'd be easier than it was. I mean, you only have to look at the 3 goals. They're all too easy. So yeah, for me, Clark, one of the better players. I'll just give him a 7.
Yeah, 7. Good penalty. Looked quality. In the team. Able to make the passes and played in triangles, etc. Like they were doing consistently. We weren't doing, but he looked like that. Do you know what I mean? He was trying to drive the team on, being the captain and stuff like that. But yeah, I'll give him a 7. I'm going to give Kodjo a 6.
Same.
I don't think he was too effective. I don't know if it's because he's playing on that position or he's just getting marked out. We need to try something different with him, possibly. But yeah, I'll just give him a 6.
See, this is the thing as well. Like, this goes back to the squad depth for me. Like, I would still have to go with him there. Like, again, if we had Bramall, I'd put him there. Obviously, Lawrence, like I say, I'm not even going to get into that again. And this is like where we would love to see like Ali. But it's one of them situations for me where do what we did in the game before. I can't remember what game it was, but we had him. I think it was on the right, maybe. Correct me, like in the chat if you know, let me know. But I'm pretty sure we had him out wide either way, whether it's the right or the left. And then we moved him centrally, and he was on it. Wilshire's apparently said, I haven't seen this, but loads of people telling me he said comments, and I mentioned it on the last one, about him being able to play more centrally. He wants to see that. So it's a situation for me where if it's not working out on the left, which I don't know why it isn't. I mean, he's had good games on the left. I mean, you only have to go to the 2 games against Blackpool this season. There's obviously been a few others, but they're the standout ones. I don't know what it is. I mean, like I say, move him centrally. Maybe we might have to move him centrally, but my worry is we haven't got enough on the left. We have not got enough on the left in terms of confidence. Like, this is where, like, obviously, unfortunate injury for Bramall, but like, this is where you'd love to have him. But we don't have that. So I think we're going to have to stick with it, unfortunately. But then again, it is fortunate because he's a top scorer, so it's one of them, man. And to be honest, like the game on Wednesday, it should be better, man. Like, it should be better in the game, to be honest. But yeah, like you say, Dad, I agree with you. 6. And then moving on to Cole, good pass through for the penalty. Felt sorry for him. You can tell he was getting frustrated in terms of when we did have the one up front. I do feel a bit sorry for him. He is trying. He is, there's only so much he can do when there's one up front, really. And obviously there was decent link up. Obviously nearly scored if it weren't for their good defending. Our only good moment in the second half for me. So yeah, I mean, Cole, I'll give him a 6.
6.5. Basically got an assist. There was a couple of crosses that were put into him, but they defended it really well. Otherwise, he would have got the end of them. His link-up plays pretty good. I'm liking him. It's only a matter of time before he scores. I'll give him 6.5.
Yeah. Oh, I completely forgot the FA Cup draws on. I just realised that. Liverpool have got Wolves away. So Rob Edwards is going to be facing Liverpool. But yeah, no, fair enough. And then the subs in the game. So El Hamadi, I'd say he was trying, he was getting fouled again and all that jazz. I'll just give him a 6.
6.5. Thought some of his movement was really good.
Just need him to get that goal or assist.
Yeah, I want to see him start because I think if he starts, it'll definitely affect the play. So yeah, I'll give him a 6.5.
Morris, 6.5 for me.
I thought Morris was quite lively as well when he come on. I want to see him start because he's just so good at
and his last start was very good.
Tracking the ball and anticipating where they're going to pop, blocking it and running. He's so good at that. We really need that at the moment. So I'll be starting him. I thought he was good. 6.5.
Wells, I mean, that pass he done was poor. Let's be honest.
5.
Yeah.
Van der Berg, I'll give him a 6. Like, he was trying too hard. You can see he's got quality, but he was trying too hard. That's all it was.
All right, fair enough. Yeah, I agree with you with Wells. Van den Berg will go slightly lower. I'll go 5.5. And he was trying, like you say, but just that corner for me. That's what annoyed me the most, to be honest. Like, I know it weren't just him. I know Clark's corners were poor as well. But like, in comparison to what we saw in the last game, obviously he didn't take corners.
It's just pressure, isn't it? Like, who made the decision that he...
Oh, the subs were awful.
His first corner for Luton Town away under pressure. Like, why is he taking it?
Oh, no, I know. I totally agree. Especially if our corners, they're so predictable. That doesn't help as well. But yeah, no, there you go, guys. There are the player ratings. No deserving man in the match, obviously. And yeah, I just think Wilshere messed it up, to be honest. And it's like, even during the game, like I say, the subs. I mean, what? Kadoa weren't great, but top scorer. He's going to come out of goals. Like,
position, yeah.
Yeah. No problem with a 4-4-2. That's what we should be going with, but we should be going with that from the start because this formation ultimately has proven not to work away. It works at home, but away it just doesn't work. You need to change it up. I mean, again, like I said not too long ago, you saw how annoyed Cole was getting because he's isolated. There's only so much he can do, and I'll be honest, obviously, with all due respect, there's probably no Port Vale fans watching, but obviously, it is a step up joining us, even in this position, obviously. But, like, there is that part of me that's still surprised that he's joined to be predominantly having the one up front. Obviously,
we don't know. I don't think it is. And that's why they went to 2.
Obviously, you probably get more money as well.
I think we will start to go to that.
Yeah, we got it. We got to.
Definitely away.
I mean, even the next home game, like, I want to see it because, like, you know, obviously we watched the Burton game the other day, Dad. You know, they obviously played two up front. You know, two good strikers as well. Let's not take the piss here. You know, Beasley's got 12 goals in the league, and then Shady, decent player. No, couldn't score against West Ham, but you know they've scored enough in the league, especially Beasley. So, you know, they play two. So, like Wilshere has said, and what we've done against Stockport, they play three at the back. When we were attacking against them, we played three at the back. We matched them. We beat them 3-0. So that is the next game of a team that I know definitely play two up front. I don't know if Wigan will. I know yesterday they played just Taylor by himself. But it's new manager, so who knows? I don't know who their other strikers are anyway. Obviously, they got rid of Mullin and things like that. So we'll see. But, you know, ultimately, we need to go with it sooner rather than later in any of these next two games. Even the fucking next game for me, more so, obviously, being away. So, yeah, let's go through some comments. Big up Ty and Dazza. Big up to yourself, mate. Hope you're well. Massive. A lot of people say it's a good team. It's a good team. Thing is, I think there's good areas of our team. I've said this loads, like the wingers. I think our wingers are really good, like especially the right hand side. You got Jones, you got Morris, you got Kadoa. But like, there's so many holes in our team. Like, right, obviously we haven't got a right back, so that's one. I would argue in terms of depth, left back. Obviously Johnson's decent, but like, you know, the options other than that ain't great for me. It's Naismith. Bramall is more higher up, but I guess he can play there, so that's not too bad. That is his position. But like even like other than that, not for me. Even centre back. I mean, if we get an injury of Mengi or Anderson, the backup centre back is Naismith really, or a youngster coming through. So I don't really rate that. The strikers ain't too bad. Wells obviously been a bit disappointing, but the others, you know, they're decent. They should be decent. The left side is a worry since we got rid of Ali and Bramall's obviously been out for me. So yeah, there's a lot of holes in our team for me, and that's another reason I don't think we'll get the playoffs. I agree, mate. I agree. Yeah, exactly. It's even like you know, they're right back. NG. You know, look, when we were just saying, obviously we you know they're just more, you know, thingy, consistent. If I compare Longwick at right back to NG, there's no comparison. You know, there's no comparison. Like, even if we're doing squad for squad, even if you're doing it on form or just who's better, there's no comparison, you know, between that position especially. And I'd argue a lot of our strikers, to be quite honest here. So, yeah, I agree, mate. I totally agree. And obviously, there was the rumours of us looking at Beasley, mate. So we clearly, you know, and this is the thing, we're at that, like, even though he's a good player, we're at that level where we can't attract higher players. Do you know what I mean? Because we put ourselves in this situation. So when we were linked to him, obviously, as you know, I weren't too disheartened because I've seen him play and I know what he can do. So, yeah, man. But yeah, moving on. Let's actually move on now. Get that shite game out of the way. To Wigan, which is going to be a difficult game for me. You know, yes, they've been poor away. I think they're 20th on the home form. We're 14th on away form. Surprisingly, I thought we'd be way lower, to be quite honest here. But obviously, they've got a new manager. They've got the former Exeter manager now. Like I say, he's obviously won the FA Cup when they made history as a player. He's obviously refereed. Bloody hell. And get me started on the refs as well. Fucking hell, probably even worse on Wednesday. But yeah, obviously he's been a manager before. And they actually won the League One, I believe it was, when he was a manager last for them. A lot of their fans saying they shouldn't have obviously got rid of him in that period. Obviously, you know, I think it was like 2014, maybe something like that, 15 season. So it's obviously a bit of a while ago now. But he's come back, and it's someone that knows the club. And they've got it done quite early, to be fair. Obviously, yes, there's been rumours circulating for a while. They've played 2 games since they haven't had one. But in terms of the start of the new week, getting a manager in 2 games, you know, and you know, despite us being poor away, I would still say it's a tough game for them, definitely, especially their next 2 games. They've got Stockport away after. And then they've got Huddersfield. And I know Huddersfield lost the other day, but obviously they're in a better position than us. So, they, you know, 3 teams that you expect to at least be fighting for the playoffs in the next 3. So he's got 3 first difficult games. But I don't know, man. I mean, it could literally go either way. Like I say, predicting this game it's the hardest game I've had to predict for us in a while. Like usually I look at our games and go, like, especially the away ones, if we're away, we'll probably lose that, like I did with Cardiff. But there is that part of me that thinks we could get something. But again, like I've said loads of times, even the home games, is it going to mean anything come the end of the season? You know, and I don't think it does, even if we do win this game. You know, we have to go on a run, but that's just big ask for me, really. Like again, people will look at these games coming up and they'll think, yeah, we should be getting maximum points, but they're really not easy games. I mean, the next three we've got in the league are all teams that are down there. You know, they've got to fucking fight to stay up. You know, a possible benefit for us though. Obviously, I'm not looking too many games ahead, but obviously the Burton game we got at home, which you would favour us in because we are good at home. They've got Rotherham tomorrow, which is a massive game. You know, huge game down there. So maybe if they get something, I mean, obviously, Harry, you can tell me in the chat, like, say, for example, they win, gives them a lot of confidence, like maybe in terms of like maybe not going for it as much as they would have had to if they didn't win. But I mean, that's not an easy game. Our rescheduled game we keep going on about is Doncaster. I mean, that's not easy. You see what they've done to some teams at home. You know, so it ain't going to be easy games. It really ain't going to be easy games. So I'm very 50-50 on this. It is difficult. Like I say, if they were still managerless, I would actually be confident with us winning. But I don't know. It could go either way, man. It really could go either way. But what do you make of the appointment, Dad, that they brought in?
Yeah, it's interesting. Quite surprised. I get it because he's got a link to the club. I thought he was doing all right at Exeter. I think he's just swapping. You know, I think he would have kept Exeter up. I think he's in banging trouble with this team. I don't think they're great. They've still got McManaman, who we signed.
Yeah, I saw him on the bench yesterday. That's crazy.
He's obviously a legend for them, and I think he played with the manager in the final when they won the FA Cup. But ultimately, it'll G them up, but they're poor, really poor quality. They are, and you know, even if we play shit away, I expect us to beat them. I really do. You know, they're in relegations. Like we haven't felt, you know, been that low. You get me? We will beat them.
Oh, okay. Obviously, save your prediction. But yeah, we'll go through the comments. There is a lot of comments coming in. Do you think we should start Van Den Bell? Obviously, we're getting to our lineup. I mean, it could be a shout. Me personally, I wouldn't. I still feel he's got a. Oh, it's mad to say this because he's been playing in Europa League. You compare that to League One.
Got around it, yeah. But look, at when he come on, you know, he's
exactly. I mean, his debut was good when he come on, like his actual debut.
He's got ability, but
but he hasn't earned it for me. Like he hasn't earned it right. I mean, you look at other players. Yeah, okay, Palmer didn't have a great game, but a lot of that is because we were over reliant on him. You know, he should still be in. Clark should definitely still be in. You know, despite not having the best of games, he was still one of our better players. You know, it says a lot about him as a player and how he's been throughout the season. And a lot throughout his time at Luton, really, especially in the last couple of years where we've not been great. I mean, obviously, quickly on that says a lot as well. And it's just not good enough. Yeah, I only see the Liverpool one because I saw the Liverpool fans talking about it. Do you know what, mate? I wouldn't even be surprised. Yeah, look, they're poor at home, we're poor away, so I agree. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's like that in every league, which is actually really interesting. Like, obviously, I don't look at League Two as much. Thankfully, I won't have to next year. Fucking hell, you know what I mean? Because there's worse teams. But like even the Premier League, you know, there's still everything to fight for. Championship, you know, and obviously League One. So there is that. Yeah, there is that, mate. There is that. And that's what I'm saying. These three games, they're all teams at the bottom, you know, but they're not easy, man. They're not easy. Trust me. Yeah, it all depends. I mean, I can understand, mate. I can understand your confidence. It all depends for me how you play tomorrow. I think if you get a win tomorrow, which for me you should be beating Rotherham, they're shite. They're dog shit. I know we didn't beat them, but yeah, that was early stages of us not knowing how to break a low block down. And like what you said, and like we've obviously said, you know, privately, that Nombe, you know, he's probably the only player that's going to do something for them if they're going to do anything. But yeah, if you win that, I think maybe you won't go for it as much. You know, there is that part of me, but if you don't win, I mean, it's going to be difficult. You know, it's going to be difficult. It's definitely going to be a tight game. I mean, you're obviously a better team than Port Vale. We drew at home to Port Vale. There's no reason why you can't at least get something if we're not on it. So yeah, it's big, big, big game. Yeah, hopefully you have Webster back and we have Elijah back. How about that? Ooh, that'd be good, wouldn't it? That'd be good. Who do you think is better at Longwick for me? It's not Asaya Jones's game. He's not a right back. He's not a right. It's like Mike said. He's not. When he found out the comments on the Faggot, he's not a right back. He's just not. And for me, like, yes, he might have confidence playing there and like to play there, but you only have to. Even though he had a great game against Stockport, he scored. I mean, remember the penalty that he gave away? He has them moments for me where he gets clumsy, like he gives away fouls. I think he might have done it the other day as well. But he gets yellow cards even when we played maybe Leeds when he was playing as a wing back last season. Ken scored in that game, but I think he got a yellow card in that game if I remember rightly, and it's similar. It's a silly challenge. I do have more faith in Longwit there. Not a lot because it's not his position, but I'd rather have Longwit there to be honest. But the main one for me is Hakeem. Hakeem, he is the one that can play there the most out of all of them, but obviously he's injured. He is back on the grass, as Wilshere loves to say. So hopefully he can be back in the next couple of games because he could be massive. Even his debut when he come on against Northampton, played right back, cleared it off the line. So he could be massive. Yeah, no, I totally agree, mate. Rotherham, they're just a team I look at and I just think, you know what, just send him down. No offense, Nombe, but yeah, the rest of them just don't like him. To be fair, exactly, mate. Exactly. That's exactly what I say. That's exactly what I say, Jonathan, mate. But yeah, in terms of the game, then. So in terms of a lineup for this game, I will start off with my lineup. We have actually gone different this time, guys. Obviously, the last few games we have gone with the same, but we have gone a bit different this time. So in terms of my lineup, like I say, please, Luton, start a 4-4-2 from the start of the game. Because, yes, all right, we didn't score with it, and that's ultimately why I don't think we will go with it. But it's better. It's better for the strikers, and it also brings more cover in the midfield. Like, when you look at 4 there, in comparison to 1 and then the players higher up, it will also benefit Palmer because he'll get more support, basically. So, yeah, as you can see, Keeley in goal, obviously. Longwick, I would stick with him at the right. Obviously, if any team news comes out, big team news tomorrow, I'll probably do a separate video and my lineup might change. But for right now, this is what I'm going with. Anderson and Mengi, I would stick with them, partly because I don't have a lot of faith in Naismith. And yeah, I think they have been better throughout the season. And hopefully, because I expect Taylor to start, Anderson can deal with him how he did when he come on against Huddersfield, or when they both come on. Thought Anderson done really well up against Taylor in that game when Taylor come on at Kenilworth Road this season. So hopefully it could be another one there. Mengi, I expect Mengi to have a better game. Like, obviously, he's had better games under Wilshere than he has under previous managers, obviously taking away the Premier League. But I expect him in this game to be better, like make a good slide tackle or do something good. You know what I mean? He's that type of player that bounce back for me. Johnson, I would stick with him. Partly, again, like I said, I don't have faith in Naismith, to be honest. And I know Wigan, like the way they play, they don't really play in terms of like players that are going to be pacey on the wings. Obviously Taylor up front, like I say, sole striker right now. I'm basing it off what I see. The manager might change it, but I'm basing it off what I've seen previously, what I see yesterday. Yes, it was against Arsenal, but they don't really play with wide players for me. It's like the striker and then one's behind. So yeah, I think that. Morris, I would start him. I thought his last start against Bradford was really good. Obviously, I said I'd start him in that game. Going into the Cardiff game, didn't quite happen. Put Jones on the bench, bring him on for this game. Probably for Morris, to be honest. Or maybe Kadoa, who I've remained on that left-hand side. Again, similar to that left-back role. I don't have faith in the other player. I don't have faith in Lawrence, got to be honest. And Bramwell's out. So there's no one else for me. I don't want to see a striker put there or anything like that. I know Kadoa's naturally a striker, but he's shown that he can be good out wide. Whereas, like, if you put El Hamady there, like we did against Forest Green when he come on, I didn't get that. And then Clark and Palmer. Palmer to do the more defensive stuff, but Clark doing the more attacking. But it's better there because there's more support, like I say. And then I have gone Wells surprisingly, and the reason I have is I just feel El Hamady, he has tried, he definitely has tried. He just needs that goal or assist for me. As soon as he gets that, I'm definitely starting him. And I feel Wells in a 2 naturally from the off can be good in terms of the setup, helping out players. He's not really going to score, but yeah, similar to Yates, when we did play it in the Virtue Trophy with Nordos, who scored a good goal, by the way, yesterday. I don't know if anyone's seen that. Nice little dink over the keeper. I think that's 3 goals in 2 games for him as well. So fair play to him. And then Cole up front. Obviously, Cole, like we say, he definitely deserves to remain in that lineup. So, yeah, please, Luton, go for a 4-4-2 from the start. And yeah, that's what I'm saying for that. So let's see what happens for that. And then in terms of your lineup for this game, Dud, let's just get it up on the screen. So yeah, do get in your lineups as well in this game. So there you go, Dud.
But obviously, also 4-4-2, Keeley in goal. I'm resting a couple of players. I think Wigan are poor. I think the players that come in should be able to do a job against them, and we've kept the core of that squad. So I'm bringing Naismith back in as left back. You've got to stick with Mengi and Anderson. Ain't got fucking no one else unless we bring the youth players through, like you say. I'm going to try Jones at right back. You keep saying he's my right back. Well, for me, this is a game you can put him there. And yeah, some people are saying you lose his attacking ability, but he can still produce it. And then if you've got Morris in front of him, that's fine for me. Kadura on the left, as you said, there's not. But Lawrence ain't going to start this game. Maybe he'll be on the bench, but not for me. And then Palmer and Clark in the midfield. And then I'm starting Al Hamady. I want to see him start. I think them two up front brings something totally different as well from what they might have done their research on. These are like two new signings really. Bang them up front together. So yeah, that's my lineup.
Fair enough. We've got mixed opinions about both our lineups, which I'll get into now. Jonathan on mine, he agrees with you in terms of El Hamady up front. Let me get rid of that. He says, I wouldn't do Wells and Cole personally. Frontline lacks any pace. Well, the thing is, right, Cole's actually quite quick. That's what I will say to counter that. He is actually quite quick. So surprisingly, for his age, he actually is. But yeah, El Hamady, fair enough. I mean, I wouldn't mind it. It come Wednesday, if we see El Hamady and Thingy up front, I mean, I wouldn't mind whoever the two are, to be quite honest with you right now. But if it is them, fair enough. But Elijah, he's closer, mate. I don't know. I reckon he'll be back the next few games, to be quite honest. Yeah, he's obviously been in team training. So yeah, I'd probably say the next either 2 or 3 games in between them periods, I believe. Luton Town fan agrees with me in terms of my lineup. Bramall is a big miss for you lot. 100%, mate. 100%. I mean, it only has to go back to what I said earlier. The left back role, not being able to play there or be an option there. And then obviously the left sort of midfield winger, whatever you want to call it. Kadoa can play up top. We thought it happened against Huddersfield, but it wasn't to be. But yeah, he is actually a striker, mate. So yeah, he can play up front. But again, problem with that is who you're going to put on the left. That's the problem. And that's where we could have done with Bramall. If you weren't injured, unfortunately. And Jones on a wing, taking Wells out. Yeah, like I say, Jones obviously can go on a wing. Prefer the look of your dad's team. More pace through the team. Wouldn't have Naismith left back though. Nah, yeah. Fair enough. Yeah. I mean, like I say, come Wednesday, if we see them two up front, I've got no problem with that. But yeah. it is that time, Dad. Score predictions. New manager bounce for them, or are we actually going to win away?
Look, listen, we've had it with Bloomfield. New manager bounce didn't happen. Wilshire didn't happen. You know, and they're a poor team. They are. You know, the advantage we've got is that they're on a poor run of form anyway. At home, they're not great. You know, we have definitely got the players to get. You know, if we get an early goal, I think it'd be comfortable. So I'm going to go over 2-0 Luton win.
Well, I think the last time we went there, it was 2-0. I was at that game. It was very good away day. I did actually predict a 2-0 that day, and it was, I remember. But yeah, as for this game, it could literally be any of the results. It's the hardest game I've had to predict in a while, to be honest. And a large part of that is their new manager bounce, and also how poor we've been away. The fact they haven't been great at home. But I am going to back us just to win this game. I'm going to say 2-1 to us. I do think both teams will score in this game, but it's a very, very tough game to predict. And I also would not be surprised if we can beat us 1-0, to be quite honest with you. So that is my prediction for this game. Oh, dear. Jesus Christ. Anyway, it's flipping hard. It's a hard game to predict. But yeah, in terms of your 2 goal scorers, Dad?
I'm going to go with Al Hamadi to get his first goal and Clark.
See, the thing is, last time, I know Elijah scored. I can't remember who scored the other goal for us. I was just trying to think what position it was, but honestly, I think it's Cornick. No, it's Cornick, actually. It was Cornick. So for me, I'm going to go. See, I've got a feeling we will play the one up front. Otherwise, I would have said a striker. I'm going to go. Do you know what? I'll go Kadawa. Go Kadawa to get one, and Shaden Morris. I expect Shaden Morris to start this game. So yeah, I'll go Shaden Morris to get a goal. I think he's our 3rd top goal scorer behind Clark and Kadawa. I'm pretty sure Shaden Morris.
If Clark scores again, I think he's the top scorer, or he's level with Kadawa.
Yeah. As for everyone else's predictions, which flew in, by the way, comments going crazy. Good to see, though. 2-0 Jordan and Palmer, says Jackie. Oh, yeah, I'll read out the points, actually, as well, before I forget. 2-0 as well. I got a lot more confidence than I expected, to be honest, which is good to see. But no, the boys probably let us down. Luton Town fan says 3-0 to us. Again, like that. Harry's gone with what I think it will be if we lose, which is 1-0. He was rested, wasn't he? I'm pretty sure against Arsenal. He's a good player.
No, he weren't. He played. I watched him. He was a good player.
Did he?
He's on loan from Coventry. Yeah, he's clearly good.
Did he start? I'm sure he didn't start, did he?
Yeah, I think he did. But
fucking hell.
Yeah.
He's decent.
The rest of them are just, if you put it on him,
like Taylor, we know how, like Anderson's already dealt with him this year, so I'm hoping it's the same thing. And Taylor will start this time.
I've got a couple of threats, but
no, I agree. I mean, and this is another reason I'll be honest. I have backed us despite them getting a new manager. I watched them against Hemel. Well, I didn't watch him, but I listened to him, watch the highlights, right? And Hemel, right, obviously, their striker now has gone to Burton's. Obviously, I know he's way too good. And obviously, he come through our ranks. But like even that game, right, Wigan played a pretty strong team. Like, weren't a rotational team. They played Mullin, who's obviously now gone to Bradford. You know, they played Tickle, who's their main keeper. And they played a few other main players, and they just about scraped past Hemel. You know, some of them ain't even full-on professionals, and it was at Wigan. You know, so there is that possibility, that we can definitely beat them. But I just, like I say, even if we win, I just don't think it's going to be enough. Like, because even the next away game, that's a tough game. That's definitely a tougher game than this for me. Doncaster away, seeing what they've done in certain games. Whereas Wigan, you do look at their home form, and their home form's worse than our away form. So there is that thing. That also gives you confidence. I was even having a little, look at their results. And even the games they have won, they haven't really, like the home games, they haven't really been against great opposition. So there is that as well. There is that. But yeah, like I say, they've got 3 difficult games themselves, so Yeah, score early to put the pressure on. Exactly. And that's what I'm saying. If we can go 2 up front, put the pressure on. I said this against Cardiff and we didn't do it in terms of just start well. We had like a little moment, but overall, in terms of chances, they had the much better ones. But if we can start well in this game, which we have to, and what I will say about us, right, as much as I don't think we're going up or anything, we do bounce back pretty well this season, I would say. Because obviously that Huddersfield game, Dad. Remember that? I mean, I didn't have confidence. I can't remember what you said for it, but I didn't have confidence. I said we'd lose 2-1 because that was after the Barnsley drubbing. And yes, that was at home, but we did respond well. And there has been a few times we have responded well when the players have been under pressure. So I'm hoping that is the case, especially against this, let's be honest, pretty poor Wigan side. But come the end of the season, I think they will be all right because I do think the manager will do well for them. I think even if it's just about survive. So yeah, we're in the same limbs, mate. Yeah, like I say, I'm going to go 2-1 to us, but if we do lose, I do think it'll be that. 2-1 Luton, Cole and Palmer to score. A lot of Palmer goals. Nice. 1-1 Kadala with the goal. Yeah, I hope so. Obviously I don't really care who scores, but if you had to ask me mainly, I'd say Kadala, try and get his confidence up a bit. And he shouldn't really have to have that anyway, because he's our top scorer, but obviously come off in the last game at half time, which I don't think it's the right sub, to be honest. Palmer gets a brace and Clark gets the goal. Penalty again from him. Fair enough. So yeah, there's that. Yeah, 100%. We always sing our praises about Molyneux. I mean, even in the reverse game, he should have scored against us. Obviously, we had Bloomfield then, but yeah. So yeah, I know it's been postponed again, mate. It's absolutely crazy. But yeah, as for ChatGPT's prediction for this game, did actually say a 1-0 to us, 1-0 away win. Expects us to just about edge it. Obviously, the last game did say a 2-1 win for Cardiff. So ChatGPT actually gained a point. Same as me, which now means the points are only me, Stephen, and ChatGPT gained a point, which means 3 people are now top, and I am one of them. I'm on 20. You're on 11, Dad. Jackie, you're on 20. Rich is on 14. Paul's on 18. Stephen's on 17. Phil's on 9. Darth Vader's on 16. Ben's on 15. Terry's on 9. Dave's on 10. Blitz is on 14. ChatGPT's on 14. Jamie's on 20. Harry, you're on 3. Lewis is on 8. And Ryan's on 5. So now there's 3 people at the top. So let's not hope that's going to come. But me and Jamie have already made an agreement. If Jackie, and you'll hear this, Jackie, if you are top and we both are come the end of the season, we'll just let you be the winner. To be honest, that's just how we'll do it. So hopefully that's not the case where there's joint winners. So yeah, like I say, every flipping week. But I'm up there now. I'm up there. So let's see if I can continue up there or I bottle it. So yeah, we'll see. Yeah, literally, mate. But yeah, any final things, Dad, you want to say?
No, I'm quite confident, man. Wear the green kit again and let's go. Plant some more trees.
Oh, mate, honestly, we need to be planting them trees. But like I say, you go into that game on Saturday, there's a bit more confidence, if we can win this. There is anyway, I guess, because we're better at home. But yeah, we need to just get a result, man. Like, I don't expect many fans to go to this because we've been away. Also, the fact it's midweek, but just something for them. Mike will probably be going to it. Just give him something. Do you know what I mean? Just give him something. Give all the away fans something to cheer about. Like I say, even if we win, I just don't think it's going to mean much. But who knows? Who knows? Could be wrong, but I very much doubt it. So, yeah, we'll see. All eggs in a basket on the virtual trophy. That's how I see it. So, yeah. Big up to everyone that's tuned in. Don't forget to smash the like, subscribe, all of that. Like I say, if any big team news comes out tomorrow in terms of players, if it even comes out, because some midweeks it does, some midweeks it doesn't, then obviously I'll do a video then. My lineup might have changed. Who knows? Especially if like Hakeem's back, maybe. But yeah, obviously that. If there's any interesting comments, again, then I might have to talk about that as well. But yeah, obviously Wednesday, watch along, match reaction, all of that jazz. So yeah, big up to everyone that's tuned into that. And yeah, big up to everyone that tunes into them. And then obviously on Saturday, we'll be at the game. So hopefully we're talking positive after the game. And yeah, Harry will be there as well in the away end, I'm sure. So probably talk to him after the game and everything like that, and see how he feels about that game and etc. But hopefully, for our sake, we can win the game. And yeah, we go into that Plymouth game, which I'm also going to as well. So big up to everyone there. So last watch long for 2 games on Wednesday. So yeah, check that out. And yeah, all of that. But yeah, like I say, smash a like on here if you haven't already. Do subscribe to the channel as well if you haven't already. Big up to everyone that watched in match reaction the other day as well. And yeah, shout out to all the new subscribers and all of that. So yeah, Jackie says you have faith in me. Spurs will be waiting. Well, let's hope we can both win. To be honest, that's what I want to see really going into it. But yeah, big up to everyone. Like I say, smash a like, subscribe, all that, and yeah, I will see you guys on Wednesday, if not tomorrow. And yeah, we'll obviously get into this game reactions on Friday with player ratings. Obviously, preview the Burton game as well. So yeah, until then, guys, big up to yourselves. Take care. Peace. Pattern up, Luton.